Hello and welcome to Dungeon Crawler Video. I'm Jack Jackal, and today's tape is the 1982 horror sci-fi conundrum, Parasite. The first futuristic monster movie. That can't be correct. Embassy Pictures presents an Irwin Yablans Charles Band production of Parasite, starring Robert Glaudini, Demi Moore, Luca Bercovici, James Davidson, Al Fan, Sherry Curie, and Vivian Blake. Parasite effects designed and created by Stan Winston and James Cagle. Rated R. Prepare yourself for Parasite! The first super science fiction film since It Came from Outer Space over 25 years ago. That's not fucking true. It's not. The nightmarish netherworld of super science creates a squirming, oozing, pulsating parasite! A deadly demon designed to decimate a panicked population. It feeds on flesh and blood, rows of razor-sharp teeth that slice and dice twice. Silent and sinister, it sleeps inside you. When it wakes, watch out. There's nowhere to hide when its gaping jaws go for your guts. Parasite! Oh boy. It is 1992. In an atmosphere of Atom Age anarchy, roaming gangs terrorize the nuclear landscape. Vulcanized vehicles streak through the night in search of the scientist who created the ultimate nightmare, Parasite! A cosmic cannibal inside him, atomic punks after him, and a gorgeous girl by his side. Dr. Paul Dean tries to beat the clock before he's eaten from the inside out. Plunge into a paroxysm of pulsating paranoia. Parasite!
That was great.
You enjoy working with me now? Yeah, this isn't really a very good description of what happened.
It's like they had access to certain things, and they were like, what can we do to make a movie?
The most intense thing of the movie probably is shot like the first thing, and it's Dr. Paul Dean in like a little bed just going like that. That's what happens, right? He's doing this. You've never been infected with this parasite. You don't fucking know what it's like to have the evil chainsaw turd in your guts.
Hey.
They really milked that shot for all the parasitic milk that it's worth.
Ugh. My favorite part of the intro is when we're in the Paul POV. The Glaudini POV.
You've entered Glaudini vision.
Yeah. It's moist in here. Last second, it switches to an obvious mannequin before a monster jumps out of the head towards you.
This movie does have a bunch of really cool deaths in it, though. Starts off with two cool things. Boobs and a dude getting killed with a pipe. The pipe goes in him and he's on a chain link fence, and then just blood starts pouring out of his body, and it's really cool. But this movie was also set up for somehow like 3D home viewing. I'm not sure how that worked. You're supposed to be feeling like the pipe is right in your face, dripping this dude's 1992 futuristic blood all over you. But the pipe is like the first or maybe second instance that we get of like the 3D.
Well, no. There's so many more before that only a discerning eye would really see.
My eye is not discerning.
A really weird shot of a snake where its tongue is like bleh. And then the laser gun reveal when he's saving the girl from the ruffians is a 3D.
Ruffians?
Yeah.
We're gonna keep calling them ruffians? Yeah. Street toughs.
Yeah. There's a guy that gets thrown through what to me looked like a salad bar shield. But then the pipe thing, I actually sped up like ×8 or something in the super clip I made, but it's so slow.
Roll that clip in full length. If it's really long, speed it up so we don't sit here for too long.
No, I'm gonna play the whole thing.
Don't.
Okay. They really reinforce that it's in 3D.
Yeah, they want you to know that they spend money on the 3D, which they probably should have spent on the writing.
Wah, wah.
Yeah, Like, if they spent as much money on the 3D as they did paying somebody to figure out the fucking plot holes of this, it would have been a better movie, and maybe Demi Moore wouldn't think of it as one of the worst movies she's ever done, which she has said.
What's the worst movie you've ever been in?
Actually, that one is easy. It's Parasite in 3D.
Anyways, this dude, Dr. Paul Dean, comes to this like little desert town. He gets a room with the old lady who's not wearing a lot of makeup.
That's why I'm not wearing much makeup.
She's too...
Well...
After that, he goes to the diner and he meets Collins. He gets a can of soup.
Canned soup. Canned soup.
Rather than just eat it out of the can, he puts it in a mug, which annoyed me so... that annoyed me so much watching that. I don't know why. The can is as big as the mug. Just eat it out of the can, you fucking weirdo.
They need to have a modicum of civilization to remind them of their humanity.
Bowls are... How... Paul Dean and Collins have some friendly conversation. He's very cagey about what's in the canister. The gang shows themselves as who you think is going to be the antagonist through the rest of the movie, and really they're just a bunch of fucking dumb idiots. The lemon girl shows up, played by Demi Moore.
Hi, Colin.
Well, Patty's here.
She's got lemons.
I brought you some lemons.
But she's not a lemon, if you know what I mean.
No, I don't know what you mean.
She's...
Why is she still in this town?
Hell, I don't have a choice.
She could have left.
I could have gone to the city when my father died.
There's a heavy lemon-focused 5 minutes of this movie when she comes in.
I mean, in this 1992 future, would it be possibly that you need to avoid scurvy? Do lemons help with scurvy?
They do.
Okay, so...
She shows up with like 2 lemons.
It's the fucking future. I'm gonna assume that even though she grows lemons, those lemons are still in short supply. So 2 lemons probably get...
Well, they only get 1 because Rickus takes one and bites right into it.
You can't have the girl and the lemons, right?
Yeah, pick one. Pick one.
Oh, that Rickus. He's like the bully from Christine.
Pick a better reference.
He's the bully from Christine. What do you mean?
Pick a more relatable reference to people.
He's got a leather jacket. He's got the headband thing.
He does not have a headband on.
Yes, he does.
No.
Look it up. Well, he should. In the diner is where Dr. Paul Dean and Patricia, played by Demi Moore, finally meet. Between his Looney Tunes character eyes and the amount of moisture on this man at all times, I'm sure Demi Moore's character fell right in love with him immediately. The gang steals the canister with the parasite in it. Zeke, the goofy guy, he gets the parasite in him.
He opens the canister and the turd pops out.
Right, yeah. He opens the canister and a turd flies out at his face and he's like, whoa! This movie might have been better if they put like a Scooby-Doo running sound when the turd flew out of the canister.
Zoinks!
Or like a yoink! Yeah, try a few out.
Zoinks!
Zeke is pleading for his life at a certain point, doing the best acting that he possibly could.
Promise you won't let me die.
And Rickus is finally like, alright, fine. The parasite then slides over to a member of the Runaways, Sherry Curry.
Curry.
Curry, sure. It gets in her.
It doesn't get in her.
It doesn't?
No. Why Paul is still alive is because he maintains the parasite in its incubation phase inside of him. So the first evolution of the parasite has to go inside, which it does to Zeke.
I'm still unclear on how Dr. Paul Dean keeps the parasite inside him.
I think it has something to do with the shots that he's giving himself in his bubbly...
Oh yeah, he has great guts in this movie.
Yeah.
Guts.
Do you have it? There's good gut work.
Yeah, there's good gut work. There's a very Cronenberg-esque, trembling hands, shirt open, and guts are just doing some crazy shit. And that was pretty fun. That was fun enough. Wolf shows up, he's tracking more people, and then he comes after Demi Moore.
Who are you?
And she punches him pretty good, but then he beats the shit out of her, and it sucks. She must be very concussed. Like, that's gotta be the state that Dr. Paul Dean finds her in, because she's a child now. He says, well, what did he look like? And the only descriptor was that he was blonde.
He had blonde hair.
He immediately knows who the guy is.
Wolf.
Then Dr. Paul Dean takes care of her, and he asks for her help getting the parasite out of him.
I still need your help.
Let's go.
By sound or electrocution or something like that.
I need electricity.
It's still very unclear. I'm sure that they say it out loud. At a certain point, all the members of the cast and crew are at this hotel. They're like, hey, we gotta do something about this monster turd that's attacking my girlfriend. And then it bites her again, and they're like, holy shit, this sucks. And then she dies. She, like, necrotizes very quickly.
Yeah, they do this makeup on the people that get parasited where they start going like gray and like hollow.
If you've ever watched a time lapse of a pumpkin just caving in on itself, she pretty much does that, which is cool. So it escapes, and unfortunately its next victim is our beloved, not very much makeup wearing
Not wearing much makeup.
hotel owner. That scene's actually pretty fun though. It gets her, and some of the 3D effects get used some more, and you really think it's gonna get you. Right before she gets bit by the parasite, there's slime dripping, but like at the very last minute, she like moves her hand into slime drip position. Because they don't want to shoot that scene twice. One of my favorite things in horror movies at all is when somebody gets to just drop or throw the prop monster. This is an instance of it where somebody was just like...
And it goes...
And... It's also my favorite shot in The Dark Crystal, when somebody just hurls Jan from the crystal itself, and I wish it was me. They did a really fun, disgusting pumpkin melt scene with her. We don't get a lot of explanation of how that happens or why or any of that stuff, which I think would have made this movie a little more interesting. More about the parasite itself rather than the very quickly developing love story between Dr. Paul Dean and the Lemon Girl.
Why do you refuse to call her Patricia?
I like that she's the Lemon Girl. There's a battle between Rickus and Wolf comes out on top. Rickus is filled with Rickus Mortis.
Sure.
The parasite somehow gets into Wolf, and they figure out that they should just blow him up. And here's where some really great special effects happen. Somebody gets lit on fire. And if you've ever seen a movie where somebody gets lit on fire, the same thing happens when there isn't very much budget, which is this.
Very apparent fire retardant suit.
You gotta keep it moving though. You can't just stand there and burn. It's gotta move.
You must shamble.
I feel like there was like a little bit of an opening for a sequel, but
Well, you skip the part that makes it a very apparent opening for a sequel. The parasite jumps onto Patricia and bites her arm. So
Patricia gets beat. Patricia gets beat. Patricia gets bit. I don't feel like we talked enough about the wonderful acting from Bob Glaudini, which is to say he conveys emotion in a very interesting way.
In the face of Bob Glaudini's acting, quote unquote, Demi Moore truly does appear to be trying her absolute damnedest.
Demi Moore... Demi?
Demi?
I'm Demi Moore.
Demi.
No, don't do it.
Demi Moore definitely is trying to build a career here. This movie's worth at least one watch. You can watch it just once. It's fine. It's fun. It's fun to see young Demi Moore like doing her thing. It's fun to try and catalog how much sweat was on Dr. Paul Dean throughout this entire movie. It's fun to see the practical effects of it all and kind of check out what they were doing with the 3D effects. The Hotel Lady was also pretty fun to watch. Other than that, I give this movie 1.5 bones, which isn't many, but A bone is worth a watch.
Wow.
If you ever catch me saying 0 bones on a movie,
Uh-oh.
uh-oh's right, yeah.
If you were offered rattlesnake tea from the lemon girl, would you drink it?
No, what?
You don't want to loosen your tongue a little?
Maybe a little rattlesnake tea will loosen your tongue a little.
No.
It's shown in the movie that Demi Moore drives some weird frame of vehicle as her car. What would your 1992 post-apocalyptic vehicle be?
Bicycle. I ride a bike.
If you were in Colin's Diner and you could get any soup, but you had to eat it out of a mug, what soup would you get?
Just plain old tomato. The cover's great. This is another example of someone with a movie budget and they're just paying somebody to create something really cool for a movie that may not really be that great, but it doesn't fucking matter because, like, if I saw this on a shelf at a video rental place, I would immediately get this. Back is really cool. It's got pictures of a guy missing a hand and then also like a little glimpse of the parasite and all its little teeth. But we also have just a great painting of the gaping maw of the parasite. It also has this Wizard Video runner that goes all the way around the bottom that I just fucking love. I love the Wizard Video logo. I think it's just really cool. My favorite thing about the tape is it's got this Video King sticker on it that is just wonderful. It says, "Be kind, please rewind." Century Plaza, and it has a little tiny king on it. A little guy, which I love. The thing... Oh my god. The thing about this tape that I hate, the first futuristic monster movie, which makes no fucking sense. Well, no, when we say futuristic, we mean that it's like shot in 3D, like through the whole thing, and then you could probably watch it in 3D at your house, but I watched this on a fucking tube TV from JCPenney. Like, I'm not getting the effects of the 3D shit here.
What do you think the budget for this movie was?
It's probably too big, honestly. I would guess $30K.
$800,000.
Somebody spent $800,000 in 1982 on this movie, and that is probably a mistake. That being said, I'm really, really happy that I got to watch it and talk about it and look at this cover. Whoever the artist is, great job. $800,000, man, in 1982 dollars, like, if that was put into a small community, life would be better for a lot of people.
And that's it.
See you next week. No, I didn't say it right. Monster movie.
What's the fucking deal? I feel insane.